Hello and welcome to our April edition again. Joining me is Mayor Martin Ritsma. Martin, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Peter, and it's always a pleasure.
Well, the exciting thing is now that the budget has been set, there'll be some projects. I want to talk about the expression of interest on affordable and attainable housing,
Mhm.
E-score in another location. Tell us about the difference between that affordable and attainable, and then what these two projects and what an expression of interest is.
Yeah, great questions, and certainly, you know, from my mandate, housing is housing, housing, housing. We'd like to push forward on all types of housing. So, affordable usually looks at the percentage of the income that you use to go towards you putting a roof over your head or your family's head, and so we generally look at 30%. Okay, and then attainable is based on your income, what housing is attainable for you. So that's a simplistic version of it. The one is based on your abilities. The other is based on, that 30% value of your gross income.
And then Coriano and E-score, what's an
Yeah,
expression of interest?
let's talk about that. Those are opportunities. We hired a new individual called a housing concierge, and she has been tasked with finding properties in town, locations that the city of Stratford own, and look at them as possible opportunities to build affordable and or attainable housing because we don't want to exclude one from the other. So Coriano is a vacant piece of property that backs onto the former fairgrounds, where we're looking at perhaps building out housing. In some cases, it could be supportive housing. We didn't touch upon that, where we know individuals need some wraparound support once they're in the housing as well. So that's one location. The other, as you mentioned, E-score, once again, a vacant parcel of land that could easily be built out to, storied level or more of a townhouse type level. But once again, that would come under the auspices of city-owned, city-run, and providing opportunities for those individuals that are having a hard time getting into the housing market, whether it's youth leaving the shelter link, or whether it's a newcomer coming into our community. Those are key projects. Thank you for asking about those.
Love it. I'm glad the city has a huge initiative. Okay, let's talk about really positive stuff. With now that it's April, the weather's changing. Next month will be the opening of the Stratford Festival. I want to talk about our friends and neighbors to the south. I know I want to stay really apolitical on this thing. How do we welcome and encourage our U.S. neighbors to come and spend money in our community?
Yeah, and that's top of mind for a lot of individuals. We are a tourist town, and equally, we are a manufacturing town that wants to maintain a connection with our American sister cities, that are in the industry as well. So it is paramount. We welcome 1.7 million visitors a year to Stratford. That's an amazing number. 500,000 plus of those are our friends from the United States of America. And they come, and the beautiful part about our American friends, they tend to come, stay longer, and as a result of staying longer, they spend more money. I ran into a group of ladies, 5 ladies from Virginia last year. They were staying for a full week in Stratford, and just living every aspect of Stratford possible and spending their dollars. So I can't I've had a lot of calls, and I can't stress this enough. I don't think we want to get to a point where we're going to take down flags at this point, because I know it's emotions that are tying us up right now. We're angry, we're disappointed with one person in particular and a small group of people. We're not angry at our American friends. As the Premier of Manitoba, Wab Kinew, would say, you know what, the winds of change are constant, but that border is going to be consistent. And that partnership with the United States of America will be consistent with regards to trade, culturally and economically. And they will continue to be family and friends. So I can't I can't express enough how I was at a summit last week in Hamilton, and there were people from across the world, and I asked somebody to put up your hand if you're American. And they kind of snuck their hand up, and I said, every one of you are welcome to the city of Stratford. So I need to do that. Peter, you need to do it. We all need to do it every chance possible. One person afterwards said, I'm afraid if we come back that you know what, our car will be keyed. And so they're making up little maple leaf flags that they're going to put right beside their license plate saying, we're Americans, but we love Canada. And I was in Boston a couple of weeks ago, and it was apology after apology. So they are our family, they are our friends. We have a shared history unlike nobody else. So thank you for bringing that up. Let's do our part individually to
Thank you, Martin.
yeah,
That's
thank you.
exactly the message that I want to get out there. Our friends and neighbors, and they spend money in our community. So let's encourage that. Thank you very much for joining me, Martin.
Thank you, Peter. Always a pleasure.
Coming up next is Gil from the Blythe Festival.